Go forth, do great things for your mind, your body, and your spirit. We're at usafacts.com. Question is, how are public schools funded besides scholarships, private donations and endowments, and just support in general from the local population? Public school funding comes primarily from local and state governments, while the federal government provides 8% of the school funding. It's updated 2023. Public schools in the U.S. serve about 49.5 million students from pre-K to 12th grade, but how does it all get funded? It's primarily a combination of funding from local and state governments, along with a smaller percentage from the federal government. Here's a breakdown. Where does school funding come from? In 2019 to 20 school year, 47.5%, almost, but not exactly 50% funding came from state governments. 44.9 came from local governments, and the federal government provided about that 8%. Revenues for public elementary and secondary can be based on local, state, and federal and mixed. And check it out. All right, you got 1.7 million in pink in the West and Vermont, and then you got all the way up to 100.1 million in California, Texas, New York. Going down to Illinois and Florida and Pennsylvania and New Jersey actually has a significant amount of funding as well. But you'll see that the northwestern states and Alaska have the least amount of funding. So check it out. Ohio has 26 million local revenue. And right next door is Kentucky is only 8 million. That's a big difference. Indiana has 13.7 million. Illinois has 39 million. That's a big jump. Where's that funding coming from? Versus New York, which is a huge population, is 76 million. And going over to Alaska is only 2.6. So what do we think about that? Check it out. If you want more information, check out the email. Federal funding for schools. Most federal funding for public schools comes from the Child Nutrition Act, Title I, and the Individuals with Disabilities Act, the IDEA Act, followed by the other programs. You got your Title I grants. What is a Title I grant? It provides funding to schools and districts with large numbers of low-income students. According to the 15-16 school year, nearly 56,000 received money from Title I grants, serving more than 26 million. Individuals with Disability Education Act. The IDEA Act provides help for funding the children with disabilities receive quality education and related services that are designated to meet their unique needs according to the Education Department. Child Nutrition Act during 2020 fiscal year, $23.6 billion were allocated for child nutrition programs. Other federal funding like Head Starts, Impact Aid, and Indian education programs are available. State funding from schools. Some states allow more money for K to 12 schools than others. In 5 states, 2/3 or more of K-12 public schools funding comes from state revenue. In at least 35 states, the state government based off a level of funding per student that allows all student district receive according to a Congressional Research Service report. Oh, wonder what that looked like. Local funding for schools, 8%. Local funding for schools, and you got your property taxes, major source of funding, contributes 30% or more of funding. How are charter schools funded? Oh, check that out. And you got how has the school funding changed over time? Look at this percentage. Okay, you got your federal in green, state in light green, and local. It's a big difference. Federal is high, very, very low. State and local is high in your funding. So check with your Board of Education and your congressman or woman. Keep exploring. What other information would you like to know about? What information and what funding attribute to your child's education to be a more competent adult? Go forth, do great things.